Hey, I'm Kay from Brolla, and in this video I will walk you through how to get started with Brolla. So once you've installed Brolla, this is the first screen you'll see, and you want to create a new library. You can give it a short description and save it on your hard drive. Now with the free plan, you get access to one library and 50 assets. If you have a license, go to Settings, License, paste your license, and activate. So you need an internet connection for the activation. Okay, next, I'm going to go back to the Library tab, give my library a name and a short description. Then click on Choose Location and Create. Select a spot on your hard drive, and by the way, this can also be an external hard drive. And when you click Open, it's going to create a folder with the name you gave to your database. So let me click Open, and voila, your library is created. You can see it here, my library and its ID. So let's import your first assets. So the first way to do it is super simple. When you're on the Search tab, you can just open the Finder, then select the file, and just drag it to the Brolla window. It will import it automatically. Now this is great, but you can also see the Import Assets tab. Now the difference here is that you can tag your assets. So here I can either choose files, drop assets directly here, or click here, and I'm just gonna select my files. I'm gonna select all of that, but before I import them, I'm gonna give them a tag. For example, let's imagine all these assets relate to Colombia. I could add the tag Colombia, and now I'm going to import all of them. And there you go. And if I open this one, you can see the Colombia tag. Now that's not the only way, so I'm gonna show you. I'm going to click here, Show in Finder. And now Finder is open with our media library. So that makes it super easy if you want to quickly find your assets. Now let me reopen my other Finder window. And let's say that you already have a structure. You have a structure with projects already organized, and you want to add it to the Brolla library. Now for the two other methods, what we did is we just imported files. So these are basically duplicates of other files that exist on your hard drive. But with this method here, we're just going to move the whole structure. So I'm going to take my structure and I'm just going to drag it here. So as you can see, we move the originals. We go back to Brolla, then go to Library and scan for new files. And there you go. You found 16 files and 3 non-media files. Now, while we're in the library, you can also scan for missing files. So for example, let me go back here. I'm just gonna change it to columns, and I'm just gonna drag this file here. So it's outside. Then I go back and now click on missing files, and you can see he found it. So he reconnected it. So even if you leave it there, Brolla knows where it is, and it shows you which file it is. But in this case, I'm just gonna put it back. Now, when we scan for new files, you can see we got 3 non-media files ignored. So you can click here to show the ignored files, and we can see these are text files. And Brolla cannot read text files. So it gives you a choice. You can either hide them or delete them. So in this case, let's hide them. And what this means is that every time we scan for new files, it's going to ignore those files. Now you can always restore it by going here and unhide. But whether it's hidden or not, the files are still on your hard drive. So nothing is touched, nothing is lost. Now, you can also scan for duplicates. Let me show you. So let me go here, and I'm just going to select this image here. I'm going to put it there and re-import it. So as you can see, we now have 2. Now I go to Library, find duplicates, and there you go. You can see it found the duplicate. I can keep the oldest and remove the rest, but if you want to be sure, you can open. For example, let's imagine, let me open this one, and I'm going to get AI to suggest tags. So let me click here, and there you go. We got our 8 tags. Well, if I remove the oldest, let's open it. The oldest do not have tags. So in this case, that's the one you want to remove. So we just remove this one and hit delete. So now that you know how to deal with files, import them, and manage them, let me show you the power of Brolla. So let's go to the Search tab. But before we do anything, here's one precious shortcut, Command+E on a Mac. And this gives you all the keyboard shortcuts, like for example, switching the theme, which by the way, you can also do here. Now another shortcut I personally like is to show or hide the sidebar. So let me show you. And this is super handy if you want more screen real estate. And then you get a bunch of other shortcuts. And for example, let's say you're working with Final Cut Pro or DaVinci Resolve or any other similar type of software. Well, you can use the shortcut to just change the position and the size of the window. So then that makes it super easy to take a clip, for example, let me pick this one. Super easy. You can also maximize. So once again, Command plus E, you get all these shortcuts. Now, another and a last shortcut I want to share with you is, for example, you're on this tab and you quickly want to search something. Do Command K and just type what you want to look for, and there it is. If you hit Escape, you go back to the Search tab. So first of all, here you got this icon. If you click on it, it's going to open the Brolla library. Super handy shortcut. Now, this library only has 26 assets. So I'm going to open another one with many more assets. So let me close it here. Open library folder. And actually I have a library that's on an external hard drive. So let me open this. And there you go. 1,240 assets. So let's take a look at the search tab. So first of all, here we got the search field, but even if you're not inside the search field, you can start typing and there you go. And if you hit escape on your keyboard, it resets everything. Next, you get favorites. So if you click here, you see all your favorites. Now to add a favorite, super easy. Just click, open a clip, click here on the star, and that's it. So now if you click on favorites, here is our clip. So let me remove this. Next, we have select. So here, I can select the first one. And for example, I can select the whole range. So I can hit Shift key on my keyboard, click here, and then the 4 are selected. Now, maybe you prefer a list view. So I'm going to change the list here and you can see it here. So once you get all these selected, what you can do is add tags. If you click here, you can also remove tags. You can bulk tag by AI and more about AI tagging later, or you can delete images. Now, once you're done, just click on done. And I'm going to go back to the thumbnail view. So next you see the type of asset, all, video, audio, image, and source files, which are basically Photoshop and Affinity Studio files. Now they're not strictly B-roll, but they're super handy for people who edit videos. So let me put it back to all. Then we have untagged. Let's say you're on a tagging mission. Well, you can click on untagged and you can see all your untagged assets. So let me reset this. Here you see the number of assets. Next, you can filter by date. You can sort, and here's pretty self-explanatory. And we already saw the list in thumbnail style. So now let's open a clip. I'm going to open this one. And first of all, you can also control this with shortcuts with JKL. K will stop the video, J goes backwards, and L goes forward. So here at the top, you see the name. But as you can see lower in the tooltip, that's the full name. And if you hover over this icon, you can see the full name on disk, as well as the created and added dates, in case these are different. Next, you see here proxies. So if I play this and I go forward, I can go up to 8 times. Every time I press L, it's going to go faster, up to 8 times, and the same if I want to go backwards. Now for this clip, it's super easy, works well, but for longer clip or ProRes clips, the timeline might stutter. In that case, you want to go to proxies and you can create a proxy on the fly, and you have a task manager here. So you don't need to stay here on the clip. If it takes longer, you can go and do something else. Now, if you click on proxies, you can have different proxies from 480 to 1280. And at any time you can delete a proxy, all proxies, or show the original temporarily. And the original is never touched, so no worries here. Next, you can change the thumbnail. So let me go back. This is our current thumbnail. But now if I click, I'm gonna go to this frame, click here. It's gonna ask me if I want to set this frame as the thumbnail. Click OK. Now let me go back and you can see we've changed the thumbnail. Now let's put it back. Next, we can see whether the asset was imported or trimmed. We can see the length, the frame rate, resolution, size, and once again, the created date and the added date. Next, we can edit tags. So for example, let me type K and save tag. or you can suggest tags by AI. So let me do it. And there you go. Now about AI tags, I'm going to show you. So let me go back. Let's go to settings. You can set it here in the AI tab. And then you can add either Gemini, Claude, or ChatGPT API key. You can set whether auto tag is automatic or not for videos or for images. You can also decide how many frames are sent to the AI for better accuracy and the maximum number of tags per clip. Now let's go back. We were here. So next you can rename. So you can change the name here. You can edit the notes. Now it's simple text, it's not rich text, but if you put a URL and save the note, it will be treated as a link. So if I click here, it will open the browser. Next, we got edit and export, but we'll see that in a moment. We can also crop the thumbnail. So let me show you. I can crop here, save the crop, and now, as you can see, it saved the crop. So let me reopen it, and here we can delete our clip. And if we click here, we got a safety. So we still got a chance. So let me hit cancel. And of course, here we can maximize. All right, let me hit escape. And as I told you, you can also edit and export. And that takes us to the trim and export tab, which is right here. So let me expand the sidebar. So whether you just go here and import a clip or do as we just did, which is open a clip and then click on edit and export, it's the same tab. So here, once again, you get the controls, JKL. You can also go frame by frame. And then you can set an entry point and an exit point. Next, you can add tags. So for example, Claude and K, and then click on export clip. Once again, you got the taskbar here. So you don't need to wait. You can go and do something else in case it's a long clip. And now we can see our clip here, but the original is still there. You can see the original is 6 seconds, and that's the new one that we extracted. So the original is never touched. Now, one word about trim and export. If you try to export a file that's really big in size, it's going to tell you that if you want to see it, you need to generate a proxy. So let me open one. So as you can see, large file, build a preview to scribe it here. So if you want to be able to preview the file, you need to click on build. But once again, even if it takes time, you got a task manager here and you can go and do other things. Now here I've canceled, but if you really want to build it, you go to another tab. As you can see, it's still here. Now you can change the setting of what is considered a large video here in settings and performance, because that really depends on your machine and its capabilities. By default, it's set at 2 GB, but you can change that from 0 to 100 GB. And once your proxy is done, so it's still cooking here. If we look, it's going to take a while. But for example, let me select by largest first. And I got this video, it's 1 hour and 4 minutes in a very high quality. Actually, it's ProRes, I think. And I had generated a proxy. So it's super smooth. I can go here. I can go forward, backwards, and the scrubbing is fine, thanks to the proxies. Now let's talk about tags. So let me go back and let me go here in list view. So for example, I can copy these tags here by just clicking on this icon. And then I can just paste tags. And there you go. Now all these tags, they live right here in the tags tab. As you can see, I have lots of tags. It's a big library. So if I want to look for a tag, I can just type for it. And there you go. Next, I can change the color. So for example, let's say that this one and this one have the same color. Well, I have a color manager. So if I click here, click on that color, and now I'm going to pick a completely different color. Well, all the tags that had this color, which is color number 1, we'll see their color change. Once again, let me try another one. And there you go. So I can save colors. Now if I go back and type K, you can see these tags here have been colored. Now there's many more things you can do with Brolla, and a lot of it has to do with the settings, but that will be the subject for another video. In the meantime, you now know how to get started with Brolla. So enjoy and rock that B-roll. Yeah.